So like I said, I'm going to be taking this cube. I deleted the two faces here and here. And big thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this bottom corner on the front edge of the cube, okay? I'm going to go ahead and move this back till about where this plane is kind of sitting at about 45 degrees, okay? The reason why is because this is going to set up the ability for me to model this hand with my fingers in a neutral resting position, okay? Reason why that's important is if we modeled our hands in what I would kind of think of as like a pancake, if I'm going to close my fist, I have to move my thumb not 180 degrees, but I have to move it a fair amount over, okay? If I want my thumb to touch my pinky, I'm going to have to move to kind of over to a far extreme. If I can put my thumb halfway in between pancake and pinky pinch, then I can kind of already get, between those two positions a little bit more easily. Plus, this also is just kind of a generic, more neutral resting position for our hand. So for you guys, you will be modeling your hands in a resting position, okay? So that means the thumbs will be at about 45 degrees to the plane of the top of your wrist, okay? Not facing straight down, not facing straight out, but about halfway, okay? Good? Good. Again, palms will be down, bottoms of the fingers will be down, and then also pay attention to where the inside of your thumb faces when you're holding your hand out and you're kind of resting. The inside of your thumb faces, honestly, kind of out to the side a little bit. So we're not going to be putting the bottom of our thumb facing the ground. That actually kind of would break your thumb if you did that. So I'm going to bring this edge over, and this is going to be where our thumb starts off. I'm going to go and extrude that. I'm going to go shrink this in, rotate it a little bit. And kind of bring it down that way, okay? This side right here, I'm going to extrude over once, and then this edge loop is going to be right in between the two middle fingers. These two faces, so if we kind of imagine what we have right now, this edge right here is kind of the crook of our thumb. So if it goes straight across, it's going to be essentially the two faces like sitting here. I'm going to take them and extrude them up to where the base of the fingers are. Just like that. You guys with me? Mm-hmm. Okay. Just going to bring that over. I'm going to take this edge, kind of bring it down a little bit. Kind of bring that up a little bit. Go and pull out Gene's thumb a little bit more. Now for him, he's got a really short thumb. Like it's just like a little baby thumb. Kind of bring that in. Bring that out. I'm just going to kind of round out that kind of fat thumb appendage shape. Something like that. Fix that edge right there, fix that edge right there. Let me pull that one just a little bit more forward. See where we're getting that thumb shape? Okay, so this will be this joint right here. And then the base right here is gonna be this joint right here. I'm gonna go and cut across right there, and I'm gonna cut across right there. So I'm turning this quad into an octagon. We'll round it out. We'll round that out. Pull that out. Pull that out. So we're just kind of rounding out all of that. Now, since there's like a lot of curvature, kind of like right through here, I'm gonna kind of go in, turn on a little bit of soft select, kind of pull some of this out. Pull that a little bit more. That goes over a little bit more like that. We'll delete that. And then we're gonna put in the fingers. How many fingers are we doing? 3 fingers. Now, one thing with the fingers is you want to check and make sure that you're not getting the fingers too long or too short compared to what the artwork would show. So with Gene, look right here on this picture. So the tip of his finger, tip of his thumb, when his thumb is next to the rest of his hand, it comes up a little bit past where the lines for his fingers start, right? It's not that much further than where my thumb kind of starts. So if we think about if we kind of imagine him like putting his thumb up against the rest of his palm, we need the fingers to start shortly before that area, that kind of invisible line is going to be. So if we take this thumb, and let's say we line it up, go here, and then kind of rotate it up, I'd imagine it probably would line up somewhere right about there. So then I probably want to bring this finger just a little bit more forward. So that means we're going to need to take this edge and bring it even more forward. So we need a little bit more palm area right there. Okay. All right, so let's go and model one finger. Do right there. We'll do right there. Scale it out. And then we could also take our, we could take our bevel tool and use that to also round out the thumb or the finger as well if you need to, the fingertip. So that'll be a nice little kind of automated way of doing it. Same topology, just a different way of going about it. All right, so we'll put a finger joint there and there. Oh, make sure we cut or delete the cap faces right there on the inside of that finger. Now, are all of the fingers on Gene the same size?
Yes.
They're pretty close, but they're not quite the same size. So there is a little bit of a difference. Middle one is slightly longer, the pinky is slightly shorter. So it's not as pronounced as our fingers, but there is a slight difference in here. So I'm gonna shrink that down a little bit. I'm gonna shrink that down. I'll shrink pinky down just a slight bit more. So they do look pretty close. Now, if we're doing an anatomical human, are we going to put our fingers in a straight line on a hand? If we look at our palm, is this a straight line from pinky to pinky, middle finger, ring finger, and then our first, second, third, fourth fingers? No, it's a curve, right? So there's a slight difference in these bones inside of our hand, so it kind of makes it look like there's a little bit of curve there. So same idea here, kind of just arc them just a little bit. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and take these fingers and we'll take the hand and we'll go ahead and combine them. Same idea from the toes. I'm gonna go ahead and take these and bridge them. And then bridge the other two. And then we'll go and do we'll go and kind of like merge some of these together. So I'm gonna do a target weld onto here, target weld onto there, target weld to here. And just really just target welding what I can. So just like that. So then I'll need to go ahead and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's going to be going into a 2. So probably going to be like 4 extrusions. Same pattern as before. One thing I do want to kind of put in though is I do have that kind of palm muscle. So I want to kind of put that topology in here real quick. So I want to pull this over a little bit. And then that wasn't deleted yet, so we'll delete that. Okay, so I'm gonna take, let's take these four faces, extrude. And then delete. And then delete that. Then we'll do our vertex, target weld. Okay. And we'll have these two. I'm going to extrude. Boom. There we go. So that was actually kind of simple compared to the foot. All right, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's going to be a 4. That's going to be a 6. And that'll be an 8. Okay, then we go ahead and kind of relax the hand a little bit. And we'll check the scale, see if it's too big or too little. I think it's maybe slightly too big. So I'm gonna go and scale that in a little bit. That's probably close enough. It's a little long, but go with that a little bit. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and connect it into the arm. So that's going to be mesh, combine again. And I think I got enough edges. I think I'm good. So I'm just going to go and connect them in. Oh, nope. Okay, target weld there. Target weld right there. Actually, you know what? I think I may want to. I think I need an extra. I'm gonna come up a little short of. Well, actually, you know what? I got an extra one here. Let me back up. I think maybe I just didn't get the pattern right. We'll start here. Take that one there. That one there. That one there. Start. I feel like it really needs to go right there. Let me try going around the other way. I feel like that one needs to go right there, but because I don't want to stretch this one across too much. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do have 5. Okay. Let's just do that then. So a little stretched out, but we can kind of go in and mess around with the shaping here, kind of ease it out. And right here, I'm going to kind of pull soft select. Just pull that over so I'm not kind of dragging the edges badly. We'll pull this one down a little bit. And then that one can stay back over here. Oh, got an extra vertex right here. Delete that guy. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be the hand. We need to make sure and add extra edge loops in a few spots. So I'm going to put in one right here, a little bit of flexibility in the knuckles. And then I'm going to go and do an edge at each, above and below each one of the joints in the fingers. And there we go.